Hello, my name's James Musselwhite. I'm a portrait photographer here in the UK and pointer and shooter behind the project A Portrait of a Wrestler. Welcome back. This is video number 6 and we revisit for the last time to the match at Alexandra Palace between Jimmy Havoc and Mark Haskins. If you haven't watched them already, go back onto the YouTube and check out parts 1 and 2 to this match. We drop in now as Mark is about to administer an armbar to Jimmy Havoc with a barbed wire baseball bat, and why not? Here we go. Let's have a look at this. I got a terrible angle on this. I'm the wrong side. So quick move, quick run round, try and get a better angle. And what we've got here is I'm shooting onto the guys coming up, and they've got a face lock on each other, something like this. I've got there a little late, so Mark's come up a little bit high, although we can see all the detail going on here with Jimmy. We can't see it on Mark, so we reject that shot. So I've realised I need to change my angle at this point, so I'm going to start moving backwards in these wonderful wide spaces that we have at Alexandra Palace to try and take a wider shot of the whole arena with the big screen in the background. There's no one else in the ring at that point, so it's kind of like a pointless shot. Sometimes you just have to sort of sit and wait, I suppose, and just see what's going to happen next. So I've moved over here to the corner, and Mark has laid down a barbed wire table, and he slammed Jimmy's face into it there, and I'm just struggling to try and work out. Oh, big kick in there. Let's just see that again. So big kick in there with the table on Jimmy as he's holding it up, but I've mistimed it and I haven't managed to get a good capture here, so it's into the bin with that one. Moving forward now. Mark on the offense here. Picks up Jimmy. Slams him onto the mat and then rolls over. Now you'll listen here.
Oh really?
So that's Adam, the social media guy, and what he's informed me is that over my right hand shoulder is like a section of like Jimmy Havoc fans who are super into the match, all with goth section signs, and you can see them there. And that's a really important thing, is that as a team round the ring we're working together to try and get the best shots, just to try and help each other out and just to try and alert each other not only to where we are and what we're getting, but what else might be of interest. And I've now put that in my head and thought, okay, well, whatever happens at the finish of this match, whether Jimmy wins or loses, there's going to be a reaction from those people, so I better be in and around this area so that when the 1, 2, 3 happens or the submission happens, I can turn around and grab that. Mark's now got a great big bag of thumbtacks, obviously, and yeah, there you go. So let's have a look at those shots. So here's a shot of Mark with a thumbtack, shot at a fairly high shutter speed, so there's not a lot of motion blur on those thumbtacks at all. And I think the thing I like most about these pictures is Chris's reaction in the background, just this look of absolute disgust at what Mark's doing to himself, like a parent like looking at a son who's come in all covered in mud after making mud pies in the afternoon, just like, what are you doing? Anyway, back to the video. So I'm just trying to work out now where's going to be the best point to get an image of what's going to happen with these thumbtacks. They're on the mat now. We know someone's going to go into them. I just don't know who and how. So Mark's picked up Jimmy here, and there's a few reversals coming up. Acid Rainmaker, reversed. Jimmy with the elbow. Up onto Mark's back, and bang, I've taken the shot, but there. This guy here stood up. If we rewind it back, just as the impact happened, I'm all set, I'm ready to go, I'm on a long lens, I've framed the image perfectly, I know someone's going in there, and this is the result. So my big moment, with all the devastation in the background, and the fans reacting in the background, and the move that's about to be hit, and a canvas full of thumbtacks, is taken away from me at the last minute. And you just have to live with it. That's just, I can't help that. Move on to the next shot. There's going to be another one. Let's see. So big reactions here. I'm shooting, and Mark's got this reaction now. I don't know if you saw that. When he comes back up, he pops straight back up off those thumbtacks. He's all psyched up, all ready to go. Let's see the shot that we got from there. There we go. And Mark is ready, and you know, thumbtacks in his back, but he's got this expression on his face, and the match continues. And it's all action stations at this point. I've gone back to this corner where I know the fans are. And into the barbed wire board goes Mark. You probably caught what I said there. I was, I was kind of lost in the moment. I knew Mark's state of mind going into this match. I've spoken to him backstage, and I just genuinely didn't want to see the guy hurt himself. I didn't want to see the guy injure himself or do himself any serious harm. Just genuinely worried for these guys because I want them to put on a great match. I want them to be creative. I want them to be exciting and put on a great show, but ultimately I want them to do it in a safe way. This is Jimmy planting Mark into the table. You see the drop off of light at the edge of the ring. It's amazing, just this area here where we've just fallen off from the main ring lights. It was about 2 stops, so it's difficult to maintain sort of good exposure there. But then this is the one I want to show you. So I took a real close up there of just like, because I saw that they were having a trouble getting the barbed wire out of Mark's tights, and it just shows that everything, you know, that they've got in that ring is really real. Jimmy pulls it out, goes for the 3. Mark kicks out, the match carries on. So here we go. These little shots here, we're just shooting through the ring ropes of Jimmy. I found a slightly different angle round on that side there to take this shot of Jimmy, you know, just ready and waiting for Mark to get up so he can finish him. And your story's told here. There's thumbtacks on the floor here. Tries for the Rainmaker. I'm super close to the ring at this point. Mark avoids the thumbtacks, but straight into a waistlock and facing the tacks, and I'm having to get a slightly higher angle every time. Rainmaker into the tacks. Chris is facing the background again. And then the Rainmaker. And I don't mind the motion blur on this one. I like the fact that there's a little bit of blur. It's still shot at 400 shutter speed, a shutter speed of 1/400th of a second. But I like the fact there's motion blur. I like the fact there's movement. I like the fact that there's impact. You know, it makes it look like a real photograph. Back to the video. I've missed the near fall. I was trying to fight. I think I was sold on the fact that that was the finish. So I was rushing back here to get to that goth section, to get to those fans so I could take their picture. I can't remember how this ends. Does it end? Are they still wrestling? Barbed wire baseball bat. Okay. And there they go, and I'm shooting the goth section there at the end, just to get this shot. Fan celebrating is always good. After the match we go backstage to meet with the guys as quickly as possible, because I know that when these guys do matches like this, they want to capture as much of it on film as possible, really. They've just been through a hell of an ordeal, and like, I think there's just some sort of need to have a photographic record of that. We'll show you those images now. So the images we took backstage include this one of Mark with a thumbtack that he didn't know was there until I pointed it out to him, that he actually had a thumbtack still stuck in his head. Bizarre for me to even say those words. Looking at his damaged elbow, low angle, and then all the damage that's happened to his back, you know, everything that's gone on, all the cuts and the barbed wire and the tables, and you know, it's all kind of real what goes on in there. Close up of Jimmy. We had to do Mark first because we had to get him cleaned up, and then Jimmy looking nails there. And I love the shirt. I love it when he wears white on these death matches. It helps so much when you come back and you just see the shirt that's just been absolutely decimated by the match. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed this little series of 3 videos on this match. We're going back to portraits again next week with a random topic. If there's anything you'd like to see or hear from me, then leave a comment in the comments below. Obviously, like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Y2JimBob. And as ever, all the very best.